Good evening. We got another movie review, and unfortunately, this is gonna be a bad one.
I know who my dad is, right? Y'all know what he saw?
Hey, I know your broke ass daddy. What you said your name was?
Rick.
Hey, white boy Rick. You got some balls coming here like you did. You should come out of skating roll sometime, but not like this. Look like you robbed a Kmart or something.
The other night we went and seen
White Boy Rick. And you know I love a true story. Like, even though I didn't know nothing about it until you and my mom sent it, I love that it was a true story. Like, those always have a more, you know, because it's real. You really want to know, like, what took place to get these people where they at. Saying that,
I like the crime story, D-boy, dope boy story, because, you know, I grew up in the hood. I grew up around these type of cats, so I kind of
around. I'm just,
yeah, I said I grew up around. I wasn't a D-boy, but I know them, and I still know these guys. But this has to be the worst crime story, drug dealer story. Well, I ain't gonna say story, but movie ever. Like, there were so many holes in this movie where maybe they should have had a lot. Maybe they should have put another 30 minutes, hour into the movie. Even though it felt like you was sitting there forever. But they just, like, it's gonna be full of spoilers in this movie. If you ain't seen it yet, don't waste your time anyway. Because it's just, it was better off being on Netflix. For example, like when he just showed up to sell the guns. Like, how did he even know to even go there to sell them the guns? Right. And they just bought it from this white guy.
Yeah, and
in the 80s.
And the movie was long enough to give more dialogue. It's like they just didn't talk. Like, they didn't talk when they should have. And I think we need to maybe step back and, because people, they don't know who this person even is. This guy, Rick.
So White Boy Rick is from Detroit, Michigan. This was in the early 80s.
Richie Merritt is his.
This was in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a story about a white guy that ended up getting with some black.
Oh, I'm sorry. His name was Richard Worst Jr. is who White Boy Rick really is, and he was a FBI informant.
Well, it didn't even. He kind of got like pressured into being an informant. His dad had a license to buy guns, and his dad basically sold the guns in the hood illegally, and the DEA was basically coming down on his dad, and they pressured Rick to basically be their informant to control drugs in the Detroit area. So he was selling drugs for them for control. Back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, this was very popular in the U.S. government, that they basically flooded a lot of urban communities with drugs for control. And he became an informant, and in the midst of this, it just still didn't make sense, because the people he ended up getting with, he had to connect with them because he sold them some AKs. And then they just became best friends, just out of nowhere. Like, the next scene, they was best friends.
Right, they liked his courage. I understood that. I understood why they became friends, because they liked how he had the nerve to come to them. So I understood that part.
But they could have put a little bit more dialogue in that part, because when he went
they did.
But they really didn't.
It was like, you know what, you cool. Yeah.
But then the next scene,
come to the skate rink tomorrow.
But at the next scene, he best friends with the little black dude. Like, they best friends, like just ace boom coons, like they grew up together. Like, give us a backstory. Like, maybe they knew each other in high school. Maybe he knew him around the hood, or just anything. Like, he just became best friends with this guy just because you showed up with some guns.
And this guy, he was a gun runner. That was his proper title. Was 15 years old.
15.
Yeah, 15 years old doing this. So all of this happened between 15
and 18.
Well, yeah, but when he got locked up, I think he was 17 when he got locked up.
I think when he got locked up, he might have been 17, 18.
Yeah.
Right.
So all of this happened within a 3-year time frame before he went to jail. So he did not have much time out for it to be as heavy as it was. Like
right.
it's like it's still, and it's sad. Like I hate that it was a bad movie, because this guy, for him to not have any violence that happened, no, it was a non-violent crime. He went to jail because he had, don't get me wrong, was it 8,000 kilos?
Yes, no, he had 8 kilos. But the thing is, even in the movie, how did he even find it? Like, they just kind of bust in his house and just said it had the kilos. But the monkey in the wrench was his dad eventually became a part of the business, but his dad just walked away scot-free.
Yeah, he begged his dad to let them to come together, I guess, and
well, we got to backtrack though. So he was an informant for the DEA. He had the drugs. The black guys that he sold the guns to kind of like trusted him. So the head guy, the kingpin, knew that he was selling drugs but wasn't selling his drugs. So he kind of came to him and he thought he was busted. But he was just like, you know, if you're going to sell drugs, you need to get it from me and no one else. Somehow, some way, they go to Vegas to do Beats to do with a bottle. Somehow, some way, they come back. The dude that supposed to gave them the tickets to the fight in Vegas played them. So they was basically killed this dude because he was embarrassed in Vegas. He brought his wife, everybody down there. And long story short, they sent a dude to shoot white boy Rick. But they really didn't even like say why he shot him. I don't know if they shot him because he was the one that sold them the AKs. That ended up, they did like a drive-by shooting, like a pull-up, shot the house up, shot a kid. So now the cops want somebody because now this kid is dead and not the guy they was trying to shoot that supposed to sold them the tickets, but he basically played them. So I don't know if they maybe killed him because they knew that, you know, white boy Rick was the one that sold them the guns and he would rat them out. It just was so much missing just in that whole equation on why he just came in and just shot him. So he gets shot and he almost died. He gets surgery, get the bullet and stuff out of him. A year later, he's out the game, period. And his dad, they still not making any money. So he talked his dad into like, you know, hey, we need to figure out something. Like, let me get back in this. We're going to make some money. We're going to do it. And then, boom, next scene, he pulled up in a Mercedes. Like, show us how he got back in the game. Like, who did he link up with? Where he get the money from? How he put his crew together? Like, yeah, he was the next kingpin. Yeah. He had a whole crew. I mean, like, how did he go into the skating rink? He see the dude wife and he had a crush on her. Like, it just was so much.
I honestly think that, I think that more people maybe thought that people like already knew about this guy. Bert, you know what I'm saying? Like how, you know, name, you know, Scarface, you know, those type of people, how people already know a story about him, you know, where they don't really need that extra. But him, don't nobody know white boy Rick. But not like this.
But you know, the killer part is most crime story, you know, drug dealing movies have enough dialogue where you can follow it, from Scarface to Paid in Full to Blow. All of them had storylines.
Because this guy, the reason I have to separate and stop you is because this movie is not that type of movie. He didn't do no killing. Like, he wasn't no killer.
But
this was an innocent kid that got sent to jail for this type of crime.
Right. But even if he didn't do any killing, he like Ace and Paid in Full. Ace didn't do any killing, but he was the guy that like kind of like he was broke your black card. See, like in Paid in Full was written correctly because there was enough dialogue. It didn't leave you missing out on what is what, how is how. Paid in Full? No, that movie was like shot in like Nah, it was like the 80s, like early 80s.
It came out in the 80s?
No. Paid in Full came out like early 2000s. That came out a couple years ago.
What was talking about?
But I'm comparing it to other true story like crime. Yeah, it was based on a true story. Yeah, it was a guy's story. But it just was bad. It could have been on Netflix. Like, I mean,
and then it went off, and you was like, you was just glad to be able to get out and go, cause like you was honestly glad to have your freedom. That's how I felt when I left, because I felt so bad, like you felt his, like, what happened to him without even really knowing like what happened. They wrote that part kind of well. You felt his imprisonment, like you felt that without feeling it.
The best thing they did in this whole movie was the time and the effort they put in on the trailer, because the trailer is what made you like want to go see it, because they ran it like 100,000 times on some of everything that we always watch. So the trailer.
We seen it. What? I mean, my mom sent it, but we seen it. The trailer way back.
Yeah, but leading up to it, man, they had the trailer on during the Bobby Brown story. Through Snowfall. And what was crazy is, like, if you watch Snowfall, White Boy Rick is kind of in Snowfall, but they both didn't go hand in hand. I guess they just named the dude White Boy Rick, but not really, because the white boy in Snowfall, they call him White Boy Rick. But I thought, like, since I watched Snowfall, I thought it would like tie in together, but it really didn't, because they was in Detroit and Snowfall takes place in LA, so it didn't tie together.
And you know, it's always some good to these bad movies. This guy that played White Boy Rick, his name is Richie Merritt. Okay, so Richie Merritt did this movie White Boy Rick, and another movie called Today, based on something in 1958. Only two things this brother ever been in. And I think he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
He did an awful. Yeah. It wasn't his movie. It was somebody.
I definitely
Jaleel, somebody. Yeah. Jamal, somebody that wrote this movie. But him playing this black white boy, he did an awesome job with what he was supposed to do. He definitely done. He should get some acting roles from that, because he did a great job portraying. He looked just like him.
That's probably why he got the job.
Yeah, he looked like him, and I think he did a great job. So nothing against him, but I definitely give.
It was the writers.
Yeah, it was definitely whoever this screenplay person was, and I don't even know why Netflix didn't just give the money, but I definitely give it probably a 4 or 5 max. Definitely not a 7, nothing over a 5. I give it, and you know what? I will give it a 5 because it was a true story. I gotta give it a 5 for that. But the writer, I don't know what else he wrote, but he completely sucks. Seriously, like, that's all I can say about him.
I don't know. It's up to you guys. If you've seen it, comment below what you think about the movie. If you will see it again.
What else you know about it? About him?
Maybe
he out. Thank God the man is finally out of jail. He got out in July.
Yeah.
The dad didn't even get to see the boy get out. He died in 2014 before.
I'm just confused on how the daddy didn't go to jail. Like, why you didn't? See, if that's me, I'm taking that bid for my son. I'm not letting my teenage son go to jail for life.
Too much on him.
It doesn't make a difference. I'm taking that bid. That's mine. That's my drugs. That's me. I'm taking that bid for my son. My son might not go to prison for life. No way I'm letting my son do that bid. Like, nah, man. Not if I had hands.
About White Boy Rick.
It don't matter.
White Boy Rick. Like, I don't think it was nothing.
It don't matter. I'm gonna be in there with him. I'm about to be in there with my boy. Like, we in this together. Like, that's my son. Like, I'm not letting my son go to prison for life by himself. And I was spending this money too.
Get back on drugs after that happened. I like how she stepped up. And yeah, but it was 5 because it was a true story, and because he did get out of jail. after 30 long years, he did get
He only get 5 because of benefit of the doubt. Just because
what?
benefit of the doubt. Because it was a
Yeah.
true story. I mean, could have been better. But, I don't know. Other than that, make sure you guys subscribe. Comment below what you guys think about the movie. Until next time, we out. Peace.